Now that we have the holes poked, you're ready to start the binding. First, I'm going to take off the template. So I have it taped on up here. Carefully peel that off on both sides. You could keep that in case you want to do another book sometime. The measurements are already done for you. And then I have my pages. I'm going to start with the envelope to make sure that that goes in the back. So I had my template still in there. I'm going to remove it. I am going to keep the paper clip there to hold everything together. For this book, we're going to keep the envelope in the back. So you need to decide if you have a front or a back. Most of you, it will look exactly the same, so it doesn't matter. But if it matters, we're going to start in the back. So each signature has its own row. So these will each be individual, similar to when you made the mini mixed media books. So this one is going to go in that last row right here. I'm going to get the string. It'll be on a spool similar to this one. There are different colors. We will be decorating the binding, so more than likely you won't be able to see what color it is. Remember, we do 3 times the length, up and down a very generous 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to cut that. And wax the string. The wax helps hold the string in place for binding and on your needle. So go on there 2 or 3 times is a good amount. You want it to be kind of sticky, that's what it does. And then I have my needle. So I'm going to open this up, and remember, I'm going to go in this back row. So I'm going to start on the inside. And tuck the tail under your paper clip. That'll help hold that in place for you so you don't lose it. And it is important to make sure you're on the right row every time you go back and forth. I've seen students get them mixed up and then we have to redo the whole thing. So double check where you're at. We're going to go down to the bottom and back up. Do not go around the bottom. And then I'm also going to show you how to tighten up the string. We didn't do that the last time. Most people did an okay job. We didn't have to worry about it. This time you want to make sure that your strings are nice and snug. So I'm down at the bottom, making sure I'm in the right spot. If you want to see the other side, looks just like before. We're going to go back up. Be sure not to pierce your string because we want to be sure to be able to tighten it back up. And you won't be able to do that if you accidentally stitch through it. So try to go to the side. And watch your tail. Mine's already got stuck down in there. The wax helps hold everything in place, even the tail. And if you need to check, you can still see it there. And then when we get to the top, remember we don't close that up, we leave it open, and that's where you're going to tie the knot. So at this point you could take off your paper clip. This is where it's a good idea to have a neighbor. I am going to tighten up the strings and I'll show you how to do that. This is very similar to how you would tighten up shoestrings. You need to start at this end and work your way down. So if you look, I have some loose areas through here that need to be tightened up. So I'm going to pull each one Oop, that little guy didn't get tightened up, so I didn't be sure to. There we go. Not so tight that you rip your papers, but it does need to be snug, otherwise it'll become very loose. Okay, so then turn your book sideways. We're going to do the square knot again. The easiest way to do this is if you have one short string and one long string. This is my short string. I'm going to cross the short string over top. Short string goes through. Pull that tight. Have a neighbor put their finger right there for you. And then do the same thing again. Short string, cross over top, short string through, and then pull it tight. And it should lay flat for you. It shouldn't be sticking up, which this one is. Which way does it go? That way. And then you cut the strings. Be sure to leave about 1 inch. If you cut too close, the knot could come undone and then you have to do it again. You don't want to do that. You can trim that off later. When you paint your pages, that will even seal in. You might trim that just a little bit more. Okay? But if you have any issues with your binding, fix it now, because it's way easier to fix now than it is when you have half your book already done and the binding's decorated. It's a pain. So you're going to continue the rest of these. This is the back. I have 2 more to do in right here the exact same way. Then your book is completed.